So this is the Lenovo Legion 5i. When it arrived, I was excited to check it out because of two big reasons. Number 1, Legion series laptops are generally known for their build quality and high power GPUs. They often feature maxed out versions of their GPUs, delivering top performance compared to the others with the same GPU. Number 2, this one comes with the latest 14th generation Intel CPU, the i7-14650HX. So how does this stack against the 13th generation Intel CPUs? That will be a really interesting question to ask, and I'm here to answer that. So I have tested this laptop in and out and found a lot of things. Today I'm gonna share everything I learned about it after putting it through the test. But for now, let's look at the specs. It features a 16-inch 2560 by 1600p IPS panel with 165Hz of refresh rate, 16 gigs of DDR5 RAM with a frequency of 5200 MHz, 1TB of M.2 SSD. By the way, it's a Zen 4 1. And last but not least, Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.2. So let's start with the build quality. The lid is made of aluminium while the rest is plastic. The Legion series also has a pretty good reputation of having a very few quality check issues. So people often hold on to them for a while without having to send them back. Now if you are all about flashy colors and RGB lighting, this might not be the laptop for you. The Legion 5i keeps it understated with a mostly black aesthetic and no fancy lighting effects. But yeah, that means it's perfect for professional settings like at school or work. When it comes to the build quality, this thing feels pretty premium. The lid is aluminium, giving it a nice touch, while the base is sturdy plastic. It's not the most luxurious feel on the bottom, but hey, it's not a deal breaker. Plus, it's great at repelling dirt and fingerprints, so it stays looking fresh. Now, let's talk stability. The base is thick, measuring in at a max of 2 cm at the back, so it's not weak. The hinges are solid too, letting you pop it open with just one hand and giving you a full 180 degrees of movement. So adjusting the best viewing angle should be a no problem. At 2.3 kilos, it's not exactly feather light, but compared to the others in its class, it holds up pretty nicely. And get this, when you are packing for your gaming sessions, don't forget about the power supply. You will need to add an extra 869 grams for the hefty 230 watt power brick. But let's face it, that's really heavy. I mean, 2.3 kilos on its own is already quite a load, and adding an extra 869 grams, you are looking at a 3.2 kilos in your backpack. I know no one likes to feel like they are hiking daily. You are not exactly going to get spectacular views in your office or college. So the total weight of the system is not comfortable for traveling, which is also a downside of this laptop. It's the classic black design we have seen on the other Legion models, complete with a dedicated numerical keypad and slightly offset arrow keys. The key have a nice 1.5mm key travel, making typing quite comfortable. Whether you are gaming or typing up longer documents, this keyboard handles it all without any problem. Oh, and our review model comes with a 4-zone RGB backlight, offering 2 brightness settings. Now, the touchpad is slightly shifted toward the left, and its dimensions are 12 by 7.5 centimeters, making it ideal for regular pointer usage, which functions perfectly. However, pressing down on the lower part of the pad results in a loud noise, which is unfortunate. But hey, when it comes to the gaming, most of us are reaching for a gamepad or mouse anyway, right? The webcam on this laptop gets the job done with decent photo quality under good lighting. However, it lacks extra studio features and an IR sensor for facial recognition with Windows Hello. You will find a handy switch on the right side to deactivate webcam when not in use. By the way, it's not a physical shutter, it's an electronic one. So Lenovo's decision of not having a Thunderbolt 4 port might raise some eyebrows. Considering the price point, many Intel laptops do come with Thunderbolt 4, so not having it could be a deal breaker for some people. This time Lenovo has made a significant change. Unlike last year's model, where most of the ports were located on the back, this year they have removed a lot of them and placed them on the side. Now I don't exactly know the reason behind it, but I think the older port placement was much better. You didn't have to worry about wires cluttering up your workspace since they were all hidden behind. Taking a look at the ports, you will find them spread out nicely on all 3 sides. In the back, you have got a power connection and HDMI port. On the left, there are 3 USB ports, and guess what? 2 more USB connections on the right side. Alright, let's talk about the microSD card reader on the Legion 5i. Now, it's located on the right side of the device, but here's the deal. It doesn't fully accept cards, and it's terribly slow at transfers. We are seeing transfer rates hovering around 30 megabytes per second. So if you are planning on doing a lot of file transfer with your SD cards, you might want to consider some other options. Now, if Lenovo was really targeting this laptop to creators by including a micro SD card slot, why didn't they include a larger type SD card slot instead? I think nobody even asks for the micro SD card slots these days. So let me know who still uses these type of micro SD card slots in laptops. Another important point I want to mention is that while a lot of people watch my videos, only a few of them actually subscribe. You know, creating these reviews take a lot of effort and dedication. So if you enjoy my content, I would really appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button. Thanks for your support. Alright, so Lenovo's got two options for their WQXGA displays. Now WQXGA means a resolution of 2560 by 1600 pixel. Now, let's talk about how it actually looks. Subjectively speaking, it's pretty impressive. Content pops with sharpness, colors are vibrant, and even the lighter areas look super smooth. But there is a little trade-off. You might notice a bit of halo effect when you're checking out darker images with the brightness set high. It's got a solid maximum contrast ratio of over 1500 by 1, and the response times are snappy, comparable to the other IPS screens out there. Overall, it's really good for gaming, delivering better performance than many of its competitors, and also it's really good for content creators as they will love to color grade their videos. Plus, it's got the HDR support, although you will need to manually activate that through your Windows setting. The thing I didn't like is that they haven't given 500 nits of brightness. I know they only give it to Pro series, but look at the price. The 350 nits is really low for this range. Now talking about the performance. The updated Core i7-14650HX takes the power from its predecessor, the Core i7-13700HX. While maintaining the same core configurations of 8 performance and 8 efficiency cores, it has slightly higher clock speeds, peaking at 5.2 GHz. However, there is no architectural improvement here, it's more of an incremental upgrade. So what you will be seeing here is gonna be repeated throughout all these test results. So especially when it comes to the multi-core workloads, the 14650HX just crushes everything that comes in its way. It's the top performer in the list and is the most powerful CPU that I have ever tested on my channel. These scores show us how much capable the 14650HX is. Like, it can run nearly anything you threw at it. Of course, single core performance is same as the multi-core, and the AMD systems can't compete with the Intel's Meteor Lake, but it's a fact that these Ryzen CPUs do take lead in terms of power efficiency. And as I go through the rest of the benchmarks, it's pretty clear that there is no CPU in the gaming laptop at this price range, which is in comparison to the 14650HX. But how does this all matters to you if you don't understand the benchmarking scores? So based on my experience with the performance, I've used Premiere Pro and DaVinci for video editing, and the workflow was really smooth. It could easily handle rendering multiple layers at 4K without any trouble. And it can easily run heavy Blender workloads and any type of workloads in any 3D software, be it AutoCAD, Unreal Engine, AutoCAD Maya, or many more. For other tasks like coding, designing, and basic productivity, there is no question to ask. It's pretty fast. Now let's shift our gears to gaming benchmark. So we have the Cyberpunk 2077, which we tested at 1080p Ultra, and the FPS we got were around 46 FPS. For other gaming tests, I wasn't able to record them due to some issues with my camera, but I have noted down the test results in the form of a graph, and here are the results. So the gaming performance is kinda good, but at this price point, it's not competitive. You can get better gaming performance from other laptops, which comes with an RTX 4060 and even the RTX 4070. Since this laptop isn't part of the slim lineup, Lenovo has fitted a massive thermal system under the bonnet to cool the powerful and thirsty internals. So looking at the inside, there are not 1 or 2 heat pipes, but 3 shared between the CPU and the GPU. Additionally, there is one more dedicated to the CPU alone. There is also a third heat pipe, but I wasn't able to understand which part it really connects to, because it seems like it's neither connected to the CPU nor the GPU. So I can't tell much about it. If you know what that really is, please comment down below and let me know. Now both of its fans have to do a lot of work, especially if you are not using quiet mode. During simple tasks, you might notice them spinning up, but under heavy loads, brace yourself with this device, hitting around 55 decibels. And honestly, in balanced mode, it's pushing close to 50 decibels, which can be a bit too much for playing games without a headset. So here's the tip. Depending on the game you are playing, it might be worthy to check out the performance in quiet mode, which brings down the noise to a much more comfortable 35 decibels. Now looking at this, I can pretty much say Lenovo has done everything to keep this laptop cool. The only possible downside is that Legion laptops lacks any sort of fan control. I mean literally, you can only have different fan modes, but you can't set the fan speed manually like we can do on Omen, Nitro, and Victus. So users cannot customize how their laptop sounds at any moment. Now talking about the thermals of this laptop, I've tested this laptop in firm mark where it reaches the maximum temperature limit of 80 degrees Celsius, and for the CPU I ran the Prime 95 in which the temperature was reaching a max of 97 degrees Celsius. And you don't have to worry about these temperatures because normally the laptop doesn't reach that much of a max limit. Now it comes with two stereo speakers, each packing 2 watts of power. They deliver an okay sound, good enough for casual videos and background music, but here's the thing. When it comes to the gaming, you won't really get to enjoy them because, well, the fans are just too loud. So while they are there, don't expect to rely on them. And you know, Legion laptops are really famous, or I can say infamous, for their short battery backup. And this one is also a good example of that. Under heavy loads like gaming, if you wish to play it on battery, which I normally wouldn't suggest, then the 80 Wh battery will only run for 2 hours. During the test at 150 nits brightness, network connected to the Wi-Fi and just surfing the web, the laptop lasts for about 7.5 hours. Now this is an ideal situation, but nobody really does that. For $1,100 US and 1,45,000, this laptop is quite expensive, and there are reasons behind why I'm saying that. In this price range, Legion is offering only 4050, whereas you can get the Asus TUF A15 with the RTX 4070 for the same price. Yes, I know TUF doesn't compete with the Legion in terms of build quality, thermals and the display, but at the same price, you can get Predator or ROG Strix with RTX 4060. So if you have CPU related tasks beside gaming, then yes, this could be a good option. And who knows, maybe its price will decrease over time when the new 14th generation laptops enters the market. So that's it, thanks for watching, peace out.